We're officially stepping into 2026. Ooh, bug. And and the energy of this year is moving faster than ever. If you've been feeling a powerful pull to transform your life, you aren't alone. But big changes require a better plan than just standard resolution. Sorry, I got a new little teleprompter. Today, we're breaking down a practical framework for mastering your goals. I'm sharing the success tips you need to actually stick to your path, avoid burnout, and make this your most impactful year yet. We're moving past intentions and getting straight into results. Before I dive in, if you're enjoying this message or these messages and find value in your session, please consider sharing the love with me by leaving a tip by going to soulhealer.com/live. Your support makes this work possible. Now let's get started. Okay, so welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise. So one of my resolutions this year was to make some changes to the introduction to this show, which you can see I'm having a little bit of hiccups with, but it's time number 2. And I'm sure as time goes by, I'll get these buttons figured out and get it worked out so that it doesn't blow up in my face every single time. So when we think of New Year's resolution, we always think about losing weight or quitting smoking or drinking or exercising. And they can be a great vehicle to help you improve yourself and change yourself for the better. But if you think about it, any step forward in your path is better than no step at all. But there are so many other things that you can do, things that might seem closer to your heart that you can incorporate as a New Year's resolution for yourself. So I came up with some categories and I'm just going to throw them out there and see how they bounce off of you and if any of them resonate with you and where you are right now. And so one of the groups that I came up with was called the Courage Challenge. Maybe your resolution will be once a month or when I feel it that I'm going to do something that scares me. Maybe you try to do something that's difficult or seems unachievable to you in this moment now. Maybe you speak up to someone about how you feel or express a boundary that's been crossed. Maybe you learn a new skill. Check out a new computer program, learn a new language, or play with AI. All of those things are going to help you move forward and challenge you in the years ahead. You know, they say that in order to maintain brain plasticity, which means the connections inside your brain stay active, which can become slowed down as you age, is to do something like mentally active on a daily basis. You know, do a crossword puzzle, learn a new language, play on the computer, and do something that requires you to think. And so have the courage to try something new, something different that you thought, there's no way I can do this. But you know, until you try, you'll never find out. You know, kind of falling in that exercise area is get up and get active. You know, start a new, and I'm not going to say exercise program, but a new vitality program. Start going for walks every day or go to the gym. And I'm not even saying do this every day, but just start doing this. Maybe do some Tai Chi or yoga in your living room, to a YouTube video. Maybe get out some weights and do some strength training. Or one of my personal favorites is to put some music on and just start dancing, because that will help activate and invigorate you and your body. And as part of this, get up and active, you could sit there and, try to do a diet, maybe do a detox. Maybe it isn't that time to quit drinking or quitting smoking because you are trying to usher in a new level of yourself on a different physiological level. And so maybe the goal for 2026 is not, I'm going to start an exercise program, but maybe it is, what can I do to create vitality in myself and in my life? And it might be exercise, and exercise might be a piece of it, but you might discover as you explore this idea that other things start filtering in that can support whatever that initial thing is. Or you might start with one idea and that naturally evolves into something else because you've decided that my health and my vitality are important to me. Maybe create a productivity goal. Maybe clean your house or declutter a room. Empty out those kitchen drawers that have all of that junk in it that you haven't touched in 10 years. Maybe get rid of some of that stuff. And this is kind of a dual challenge as well as productivity. Maybe write an article or make a video and post that. Maybe spend some time journaling or meditating. If there's a project that you've been putting off, maybe it's time to start investing some time and energy into it. Even if you spend 20 minutes a week doing something, it's just a matter of time between what that project is or what that goal is will be done. And just imagine that sense of accomplishment that you'll have by doing that. Maybe your goal for 2026 is to shift your attitude or have a new attitude in life. Perhaps the goal is to cut down on your complaining. Maybe you start to pay attention to what's going on inside and use it to direct and steer your life. Maybe, and this is a very simple one, is to start saying thank you and recognizing how the universe has always been at your back. And use it to help open yourself up to receiving or acknowledging the goodness that you have every day. Because many times we receive things from people around us, from the universe, from situations, and we don't acknowledge them. And so by having that attitude of gratitude, one can help stop the complaining, but it also shifts what's going on inside of us into a new, more positive aspect of ourselves. So with everything that I've said, and if you tend to not be real goal-oriented, I'll say goal-oriented, pick one thing that you might be prompted to do. And then pick how often you maybe want to do this thing and make that commitment to yourself. So if it is spending 20 minutes once a week, straightening something up or doing some exercises, doing yoga 1 day a week or 2 days a week, whatever that is, identify that and then do it. The key is to just do it and be consistent in what you do. Now, here's a little caveat that I'm going to add. If what you're doing starts to become a burden and you're forcing yourself into doing this work, then maybe it's time for you to reassess what's going on And maybe you'll make the decision, well, this isn't really working for me. But it also gives you the opportunity to make the conscious decision that I'm not going to do this anymore, and opens the door for you to pick something else that might be working better for you. And you don't have to have only one resolution. You can have one, and then you can move on and have another, and then you can move on and have another. So the original resolution might be, I'm going to clean out my garage. And you get that done by March, because now you've set your mind to it and you've allocated a certain amount of time to it. And now March is here and you're done. It's like, but you don't have to stop there. You can add something new to it and keep this forward motion, this forward momentum going throughout the year, because it's not an all or nothing thing. It's just a thing. It's just a resolution to yourself. But by the end of the year, if you take on this mentality, by the end of the year, and if you look back at all the successes you've had, you'll be really surprised at where you are by 2027. If you're unsure of what you should do or what you want to do, picking a goal, picking a thing, can kind of be like picking apples from a tree, because there are all this low-hanging fruit that you can choose from. And a lot of times we'll sit there and go, because we feel programmed like, well, I'm going to have a diet and exercise routine, and that's this piece of fruit over here. But you take the fruit off the tree and it feels terrible, and it doesn't feel accomplishable. And it's not that you're afraid of it, you just don't want to do it. So sometimes you have to pick several pieces of fruit off of that tree and hold it and feel it and look at it, and maybe kind of mind play it in your head to see if that's something that you want to pursue. Because anything that you put your energy into, especially with this year being the year of fire and the year of passion, should be something that you're interested in. It shouldn't be something that you have to do per se, but it should be something that you want to do. But if you just like happenstancely make some, arbitrary decision that you don't check out and you don't explore internally a little bit, it's not going to last very long. So if it's something that you're passionate about or that feels good to you, it's something that you're going to have more stick-to-itiveness with. So if it feels good, if it looks good, go for it. And if as you're doing it, it's not feeling right, this is that whole mindfulness piece. If it's not feeling right, it's okay to stop. I would just like to suggest that if you choose to stop, again, choose to stop, that you open the door to bringing something else new in, going back to that tree and picking another piece of fruit after doing a little examination of it, and bring that into your life. Because even if you do 2, 3, 4 different things throughout the course of the year, it's not about a failure, because they're all about you moving forward, you adding value to your life, you checking out things that your intuitive sense is leading you to, you are feeling passionate about, and now you have this experience of having it and having done it. So I hope this makes sense to you. I hope that this has brought up to you, some ideas of creating a New Year's resolution. I know it's not January 1st anymore, but it's never too late to start a new year for yourself. Okay, so before I start opening up everything, so in addition to my new opening thing, which I obviously have some kinks with, There's also something new here at Thursday Night Live. And this is I'm sure I couldn't make this bigger. I probably need to make a graphic to put up. So one of the things that you can do if you go to soulhealer.com/live is, like right now I'm looking at the comments and there's 26 comments, now, and if they're all readings, you may or may not be able to get a reading. And so one of the things that you can do is you can jump to the front of the line. And once I get notification that you've jumped to the front of the line, you will be next in the queue. You can also get a personalized reading from me where you can ask a very specific question. So it's not, I want a card from 1 to 3. It's, you can be like, hey, Dr. Rita, I'm in this new relationship and, what are you getting about it? Or what should I do about this? And so you can get a personalized reading from me. And so, but to do that, you just need to go to soulhealer.com and click on the Dr. Rita Live tab, or go directly to soulhealer.com/live. So please don't get lost in the chatter of what's going on in the comment area, because I love you. And I think, this will really help for people that have been wanting to get readings and they get here late. Or that want to have questions and issues that they would like to get some specific insight on. So this is new for 2026, and we will see how it goes. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, and now I'm going over to the comment area, and it is pretty full already. So Ohora is here first, but Ohora, you... You didn't put in a number. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm not seeing a number right up the top, Ohora. But I'm going to say, hey, you're number 1. But not number 1 getting a reading, just number 1. And sorry, guys, I need to get a lozenge because I've been talking really fast, and that makes my throat really scratchy. Okie doke. All right. And we have Christine. She says, hello, may I have a reading number 2, please? Thank you. And Christine, you sure can. All right, Christine, and that's your card for today. Okay, so Christine, I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this, but I'm just going to start. So I get the impression that you have reconnected with yourself. I feel like, and I'm kind of just going with this, that you've just felt disconnected and things have finally started coming back together. I feel like you are feeling like you are more in alignment, and that things are opening up for you that were seeming kind of stuck. And that's a great way of stating this, is that maybe you were feeling kind of stuck and now you're not so much. And so, you're showing me this energy shift. So good job. Okay. All right. All right, so let's see. And then ERRT Radio says, happy Thursday, Dr. Rita. I hope your day has been peaceful and safe, and your hair looks amazing. I have a reading number 3, please. Thank you. You sure can, ERRT Radio. Okay, and that's your card for today. So ERRT Radio, I'm just sensing some discomfort in your space. I feel like you are being a little bit attacked. you know, there is this kind of sense of loss of control. Not super bad, but I feel like that's the upsetting factor, that you don't have control about what's going on, or there's not anything that you can do to change the situation. Kind of based on this energy, I hope you are doing okay. I know that, you know, you've had some issues fairly recently, and I hope that that has not reoccurred. And if it is, you know, my prayers to you, and, you know, maybe post something in the chat and we'll send out prayers to you. Okay. Okay, so Ohora is back. She says, greetings, Dr. Rita. I am grateful that I can see you here today to be connected to your wisdom and healing. I feel very sad since the tragic news was very painful shock to my heart today. Okay, Ohora, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. So maybe you can kind of fill me in, because I'm not sure what tragic news you're talking about. I mean, unless I'm in a time warp and I'm missing something, but let me know. All right, it's Lord of Ink again. Hey, Lord of Ink. Hi, Dr. Rita. I hope you're well. Can I please have a number 2 reading? You sure can, Lord of Ink. All right, and that's your card for today. So I feel like there's a little bit of conflict going on inside of you, that you want to, and I'm going to say, step out of your comfort zone, but it is uncomfortable. I get the feeling that there is this energy of exposing yourself, which you're not really digging. You know, and I'm just going to say it. I feel like this journey, and I do feel like you have committed yourself to this journey, to this personal growth and forward movement journey. So I do want to validate that part, but that you're excited about it. And even though some of it might be scary and some of it might kind of put you outside of your comfort zone, that is part of the journey. And I want to congratulate you for making that commitment to yourself to move forward in this process. And it's just, it only just begun. So good job, Lord of Ink. Okay, so, oh, no. No. All right, so I got an email from Ohora, but Ohora, you have to use the thing on soulhealer.com/live, not just send me an email. Not happening. Sorry. Hey, Don, and says, hi, Dr. Rita. I hope you're in the pink tonight. Could I get a number 3 reading? You sure can, Don. So again, if you would like to jump the line, or if you would like to ask a specific question, please go to soulhealer.com/live and use that form to reach out to me. I'm doing a 3. A 3 for Don. All right, and Don, that's your card for today. So Don, you're making me laugh because this is a little bit funny. I feel like there's part of you that wants to go back to some old behaviors. that there's a part of you that misses them or feels reminiscent of the energy that they had. Even though like you can look at it and go, yeah, that wasn't a really good energy for me to be in, but I was really used to it. And this new vibration that you've moved into is new and a little uncomfortable. But it's interesting, Don, because I feel like deep inside, you don't want to go back. And so reminisce all you want, but you would have to work really hard for you to go back to where you were. You would have to work really hard. So miss it all you want, but sorry, dude, this is where you're at now, and you'll just keep moving forward in this new vibration. So it's all good. And it's Amy. Amy says, hi, Dr. Rita, happy Thursday. May I have a reading number 1 today? Thank you. You sure can, Amy. Oh, and Amy, on the soulhealer.com/live page, I did put a tip link in there just for you. I should have just said Amy's spot, but I didn't. I just said tip. So, okay. And that's your card. And this one already came up once today. So that's your card. Actually, this was Dawn's card. All right. But Amy, what is this saying for you? You know, so Amy, I don't know if you have a goal that you're actively working on now, or if this is something more going on in your energy. I do feel like there is some pressure to complete, pressure to achieve. I feel like there's a deadline on it. Normally, I would say, hey, you know, chill and just go with the flow. But I'm feeling like, no, you need to follow up and move along with it, because if you let this slide, it'll just drift off and not get done, not be accomplished in the same way. And you have the energy for it now, and you have the motivation and you have the passion for it now. And it's just, it just feels like it needs to get done. It needs your attention. It needs your focus. So just do it. Just do it. Okay. I really hope that makes sense. All right. Let's see. So Yvonne is here and she says, hi all. Hi, Dr. Rita. May I have a reading number 2? And you sure can, Yvonne. Okay, and that's your card for today. Okay, so Yvonne, I just get the impression that it's been a weird, is that a nice way of saying it? A weird couple of weeks for you. I feel like, all right, hang on. Okay. I get the impression that there is an old energy that you are working on bringing to the surface and letting go. I feel like the things that you've been experiencing recently, you know, and I'm going to say the traumas, the issues, have all kind of revolved around a very similar topic. And so perhaps use the things that have been occurring over the last few weeks to look at what the pattern is. What is the lesson you're supposed to be learning from it? Most importantly, the pattern, because I feel like once you see the pattern, you'll be able to shift it. But again, I feel like it's like, it just seems like it's over and over and over again and almost seeming unrelenting. But once you see the pattern, you can make a different choice. And when you make a different choice, the pattern will go away. There, that. Ooh. Okay, so we have Ziggy and says, hello, anything for me at all? So for the new people here, if y'all could type in all caps, so then I can know that you are communicating with me specifically. I would really appreciate that. And so Ziggy, I am going to shuffle 2 times on your behalf, since you didn't give me a number. So if you gave a number lower down, sorry, this is your deal right now. All right, and that's your card. For today. So Ziggy, I just get the impression that you realize that you are in and I'm going to say situation that is not really working for you and is a bit untenable. I feel like you're not exactly sure what the solution to this situation is. A lot of the times people know what the answer to the situation is and they just choose not to do it. For you, I feel like you're not really sure what the answer is. I feel like there are a lot of pieces involved in this that you are having to take into consideration before you can choose or potentially not choose in one direction or another. Perhaps spending some time journaling or writing down what all has been going on and taking it out of your head and putting it onto paper will help you kind of sort out all of the different pieces so that you can look at it more objectively and see it in black and white. Okay? I hope that helps. All right, Unar. And she says, good evening, Dr. Rita and friend. May I have a one tonight? You sure can, Unar. Okay. And Unar, and we're getting a lot of repeat cards today. That's your card for today. So Unar, I'm feeling like you just received some news and insight. I feel like there's some excited, like your energy is excited. I feel like this idea that there's passion sitting behind it. I feel like you haven't really done anything with it yet or haven't moved forward with it yet. And so if nothing's occurred because you're not 100% sure, then I want to validate that whatever this is in your brain, that you should step through the door and move forward with it. I feel like it will bring you good news. How's that? And Bradley's in the house. Hey, Bradley. And then Ohora says, learn a new language or a musical instrument. Very much. And then Antonio says, clutter is something I can try. Antonio, I have a lot of people that have like cleaning issues. And I suggest empty one drawer, clear out one little corner, either set the goal as I am going to do this one thing. I'm going to mop my floors and that's my goal for today. Just that one thing. Or identify a period of time. I am going to spend an hour working on this thing, and set that as your period of time, because it makes it much more palatable. You know, when I was working on doing that house, which was overwhelming, I would have to stop and not look at like, I have all of this stuff to do, because I think I would have died, and just focus on, what am I doing? What is my project for today? And sometimes I would have the project for the day that I think it's going to take me 4 to 6 hours to do, and I finish it in an hour. And I would come up with a different project to work on, because I wasn't ready to quit after an hour. And so try that. Try letting go of the big picture and focusing on one piece of the picture. And if you do that enough, and if you do it consistently enough, it will change and it will shift, and it will be something that you can be very happy and proud about. All right, Ahura, didn't I do a reading for you? Okay, maybe not. Okay, Ahura down here, and she says, blessings to you, Dr. Rita. You look lovely. Nice hair and lipstick. Thanks for sharing your words of wisdom and knowledge. Need a very practical. May I have a reading number 2? And yes, you can, Ahura. Okay, and that's your card for today. Okay, so Ahura, the first thing that I want to acknowledge is I feel like you are carrying around a lot of fear right in this moment. I feel like there's a rock right in the pit of your stomach. I would like to suggest that you breathe and acknowledge the fear. You know, one of the things I like to do is go, oh, there's a bunch of fear there. And I put it over here so I can still see it, but it's not inside of me. And then say, okay, what do I need to do now? And allow it to come in, because if it's trying to, if wisdom and messages are trying to come in through the fear, all you're going to see is the fear. But if you move the fear over here, and I'm telling you, all you have to do is move the fear over here, whatever that picture is, it will clear you out. And again, the fear is right there, and you can look at it and go, yeah, that's pretty freaking scary. But you don't have to allow the fear to control what's going on inside of your body. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. That feels pretty good to me. And I didn't really read your question, so you know, if you would like to schedule a private consultation, I would love to help you with what's going on. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's Jessica. Hey, Jessica. And she says, hey, Rita Louise, 2026 feels different. Just this first week, a lot seems to be going right, when 2025, a lot went wrong. Woo! Embracing catching that break. Well, you know, 2026 it's going to be a really interesting year. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea where things are going to go. I just, you know, as I've said the last few years, my goal is to just breathe and observe and try to accept, maybe a bit begrudgingly, what's going on. So, but I'm so happy your 2026 has been going good. Mine's been pretty good so far. I mean, you know, when I look at the world, I think it's really freaking crazy for so early in the year. But hey, we live in a crazy world. Excuse me. Hey, Marco. Nice seeing you. Oh, the Minnesota, what, the woman getting shot by the ICE guy? I mean, there's so much going on in Minnesota that it's kind of hard to keep track. Or are you talking about the daycare fraud? Not really sure. Or unless there's something else that I'm not aware of. Okay. And then ERRT Rita says, thank you, Dr. Rita. So far, since I got my meds on track, I've not been back to the hospital for my health issues. This was one of my so-called challenges for this year. Okay, well, good. I'm glad that you're good, because the way that energy was feeling was that there was something going on, and so it must be something else going on. Oh. And he says, I will still accept any prayers anyone might want to share. So, guys, send some prayers to ERRT Radio. All right, and then Lord of Ink says, thank you, Dr. Rita. I have a job now being directly around a part of my industry I'm very comfortable in. However, I'm in a different position and have to tell people that I do not do that part anymore. Well, I guess it is going to cause you to learn and grow and how to gracefully make that communication to those people. So I think it'll be great. I think you're going to do great. So it's all good. Hey, Mark. Happy New Year. So nice seeing you here. Oh. And Happy New Year to you and yours and your family. Okay. Hey, Sin, how are you? I'm not quite sure what your comment is, but hey, Sin, long time no see. And then Don says, Dr. Rita, you're right on again. I have been thinking of that, but I know it's dead and the past. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that you know that. And I just want to validate that you won't be going back there. I mean, you would have to be having a really, 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 really bad day for it to take you that far back. But I don't even think you would ever get that far back. So just keep moving forward. 2026, Dawn. So Horace said the link sent me to your YouTube channel. Okay, hang on one second, everybody. No. Okay, so if you type in soulhealer.com/live with a slash on the other side, it should take you a page that says one-on-one with Dr. Rita. Let me try something. Let me get rid of that. Nope, same page. I don't know how you would have gotten to YouTube unless you click the live button on there, but you have to like scroll down further than that. So I'm a little confused. Okay. Okay, so Sin, if you want to ask a specific question, you would need to go to soulhealer.com/live and use the portal there to ask a specific question. If not, provide me with a number between 1 and 3, and I will do a general reading for you. Or you can reach me outside also by going to soulhealer.com and sending me a private message to set up a time for a private consultation. And then Yvonne says, yes, thank you. So Marco says, Rita, what can I say? You look hot. Thank you, Marco. Amy says, not quite sure which goal the reading was talking about since it does have a critical time frame. I'm guessing I better get busy doing all of them. Thank you. I don't know, and Amy, without a list, it would be hard for me to provide that information. But if you go to soulhealer.com/live and do the Ask Dr. Rita, you can provide me with a brief list of what the projects are that are kind of in the queue, and I can sit there and go through those real quick to give you a better insight. I mean, I know you always have stuff going on, so, but that might help. And then Unar says, thanks for the read. I appreciate your wisdom as always. You're so welcome. And then O'Hora says, thanks again. I have at the moment cramps in my stomach because of stress and sadness. Cheers to you. So, and I'm sorry to hear that, O'Hora. And I hope you feel better. And, you know, I don't really understand the whole situation, but I hope you feel better. Maybe turn the news off would help. Okay. No, O'Hora, go to soulhealer.com/live. Don't hit the live button. Scroll down further, and there'll be a thing that says Ask Dr. Rita. And that's what you need to click on. Not the live. That is going to take you to the YouTube page. No, the soulhealer.com/live. Don't click the live button. Scroll down further, because it will say one-on-one further down after the live link. It'll say one-on-one with Dr. Rita, and then want to interact with Dr. Rita on Thursday nights, get a one-on-one with her using one of the following options. And so you get 4 different options down there. Except this is not showing my updated. Are you kidding me? All right, so Amy, I lied because my tip thing was there this morning and now it's not there. So I guess I'm going to have to redo that. Okay. All right, and Dawn says, Dr. Rita, Happy New Year to you. Can't wait to be here for another year or more. Okay. And then Jan. All right, I can't read that. It's too small. Okay, so Jan, I'm assuming you want a reading. And yes, and number 3 is okay. Janine? Is it Janine? Marlis? I don't know. I'm going to go with Janine. That looks like a Janine. All right. All right. And here's your card. And that's your card for today. So Janine, I feel like you are waiting, maybe expecting, because it's not praying. It is not a praying energy, for like the magic to happen, for the money to come in, for the success to magically appear. But from a very energetic perspective, and this might seem counter-indicated, from a very energetic perspective, when we sit there and we hold on to it and we clutch like, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, it doesn't allow the universe to create it for us. And so you need to let it go. You need to let it free and allow it to come to you. Yeah, that. I'm just going to stop there. That. Okay, let's see. All right. Now we got O'Hora. Okay. Okay, so her question, I can't put this on screen. It says, so this is a personal question. And she says, do I have any chance of romantic success in my life with Jay, or should I just move from this love matter? So O'Hora, I can't really sit there and say, you know, you're going to get married to this guy or whatever. But I feel like there is such a healing element in this for you. that I wouldn't let it go just yet. I mean, I feel like there's some fear in your space and, should I do this? I mean, there's a lot of questions, but I also feel that there's a lot of blessings that are tied to it. I feel like Jay's energy is pretty good. I feel like you have your radar on and your, all the lights and sensors on. But maybe give it a chance. Maybe take your time and let it unfold. A lot of the times, especially people that have been wounded in relationships, either they go into this full defensive mode or they want to rush things. They find people and they just want to rush things versus allowing whatever is going to happen. So allow Jay to happen and keep your feelings a little bit in check. One of the things that I recommend, especially to women, is if you're uncertain of what you want to do, then don't hop in the sack with him, because you can become emotionally connected. But for women in particular, once sex enters the picture, it kind of becomes a different ball game and expectations change, and that may or may not be a good thing. So if you're unsure, hold that off, for a few months, for a period of time, so that you can decide, do I want to have a relationship with this person or not? Great question. Thank you, Ohura. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Dawn's or ERT Radio said maybe show a video how to do it, the contact process, that is. Okay, I'm not really sure what that means, but okay. And that I already did. Yes and yes. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so I am to the bottom of the list, and I hope you all had a good time. I hope you are thinking about what your New Year's resolutions might be for this coming year, or what you want to do to work on yourself, to move yourself forward so that you are not just sitting in a static place by the time we hit 2027, because we are in the fire year. We are in the year of passion. We are in the year of new growth, new beginnings, and new activities. So use the energy that is being provided for you to create something new and wonderful for yourself. So until next week, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.